I was there when it happened. It's been years, but I still think about it sometimes. It wasn't the kind of thing you forget easily. Her name was Aqua. She was maybe 9 or 10 then, thin as a twig, with short hair and wide, curious eyes. She used to follow her mother to the river every morning. That's how I first saw her balancing a calabash of water on her head, her skinny legs wobbling under the weight, trying not to spill a drop. Her mother, Adwoa, had a quiet strength about her. Everyone in the village respected her. But the thing about Adwoa was that she never talked about Akua's father. Not once. People gossiped, of course. They said he had left before Aqua was born, gone to another village, or maybe even the city. Nobody knew for sure. One evening, just as the sun was sinking into the trees, a stranger came to the village. He was tall and carried himself like someone important. He said his name was Quaim, and he was looking for Adwoa. When she saw him, she froze, like she had seen a ghost. Then, without a word, she turned and walked back into her hut. Quaim didn't leave, though. He stayed in the village for a few days, talking to the elders and eating with the men. He acted like he belonged, but there was something off about him. He never smiled. Then, on the third day, it happened. Quaim was sitting under the big baobab tree in the center of the village when Aqua came running up, holding a clay toy she had made. She didn't know who he was, of course. She just wanted to show off her toy. She smiled at him, wide and innocent, and said, "Look, I made this myself." Quaim stared at her for a long moment. Then he looked at Adwoa, who was standing nearby. "Is this my child?" he asked, his voice hard. Adwoa nodded, her eyes on the ground. "She's too small, too weak." Quaim stood up, towering over Aqua. He looked at her like she was something dirty. "She would not look like this. This is not my child," he said. Her smile disappeared, and she looked up at her mother, confused. "My child would be strong." She just stood there, her face blank. Aqua didn't understand what he meant, but she knew it wasn't good. Adwoa didn't say anything. The whole village was silent. Even the birds stopped chirping. Quaim turned and walked away, leaving Aqua standing there, clutching her clay toy. He didn't say another word. He left the village that night and never came back. For days after, Aqua didn't smile. She stopped playing with the other kids, stopped following her mother to the river. She just sat outside their hut, staring at nothing. I remember asking Adwoa why she let him speak to Aqua like that. She looked at me, tired and angry, and said, "Because I wanted her to see the kind of man he is. Now she knows, and now she will never waste her heart on him." I didn't know what to say to that. Aqua grew up, of course. She became a strong, clever woman, just like her mother. But sometimes, when the village gathers around the fire and someone starts telling stories, I see her sitting quietly in the shadows, her face unreadable. And I wonder if she's thinking about that day under the baobab tree, when a man who should have loved her turned his back instead. I think she is.
Follow for more.